I have no idea what I'm doing. Hello everyone. Well, I just had a brain freeze. I had no idea what's going on today. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're good. It is nice and sunny. It wasn't sunny about 5 minutes ago, so we waited for the sun. I am doing, we are doing a push and pull. So what I've done is it's a dumbbell only push and pull workout. So chest, back, biceps and triceps. And as always, I'll give you the sets, reps, tempos, and give you loads of tips on what to do. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And of course, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. And some awesome news, the Gymshark sale, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for, will be on Thursday, the 25th. And I'll put more details in the description box. It's only for 24 hours, so make sure you get ready for this one because the sales are always incredible. This will be on sale, hence why I'm wearing it. Because nice way to sell the product. And make sure you use my link. That will be awesome. Your support will be incredible. You guys have been using my links. Thank you so much for doing so. I do get a small commission. I'm always honest about that. I do get paid. This is how I earn a living. So again, if you use my link, thank you so much. Right, we're going to go straight into the workouts. So first we're going to start with, of course, some warm-ups before the session, and these are awesome prep movements for upper body workouts. The first exercise will be 3 variations of push-ups, starting with a dumbbell deficit push-up. Making sure to keep my elbows in. I love doing these as it's a slight deficit which increases range of motion, and I also find the DB push-ups a lot more comfortable on my wrist. Having my elbows in to put more emphasis on my chest and less on delts, but also less strain on my elbows. Pay very careful attention to the tempo on all the exercises as they vary, and not just the eccentric, but the concentric also. Next set will be a wide dumbbell push-ups. So pay careful attention to how further away I put the dumbbells. So this time I'm having my elbows further away from my body. Now, not only is this a great chest workout, but it's also great for your front delt because that will be targeted a lot more during this movement. One thing I like to do is squeeze the grip of the dumbbell as hard as I can at the top of the movement to get some extra contraction on my chest. The third set will be a decline deficit push-up. Make sure to squeeze your glutes to keep your core tight and engaged, and avoid letting your lower back sink down towards the floor. Keeping your elbows close to your body and going down as close to the ground as possible. To maintain constant tension, make sure to not lock out your elbows at the top. However, focus on the time under tension every single rep. Next up, we have the half kneeling dumbbell shoulder press. This is very similar to a seated press, except this is unsupported and also requires a lot more core engagement, making the exercise even harder. Of course, the tempos vary each set, and trust me on this, it is brutal. Keep your elbows up and aligned with your delts. Also, when pressing up, try not to lock out at the top to keep that tension on your delts. I am using 25 kilos to perform every single one of these exercises, and to make it slightly difficult, I play around with the tempo, and this is exactly what you should do when training with limited equipment. Try and put the muscle under as much tension as possible in order to progress and grow. Superset the kneeling press with lateral raises. As I mentioned, I don't have lighter weights, so stuffing my backpack with a 10 kilo bag of rice, yes, seriously, makes a great alternative to performing the lateral raises. Make sure during the lateral raise to avoid bringing your elbows up past your shoulders, so stop just parallel or even slightly below to maintain tension on your delts. The dumbbell bent over unsupported rows is a great back exercise, and unsupported means more core engagement is required. I use a split stance for better stability and make sure to retract my shoulder blades slightly before performing the exercise. Make sure to squeeze your lats as hard as you can when you row the dumbbell up, and keep squeezing all the way down. And of course, as I always say, squeeze the muscle like it owes you money. Sorry to interrupt this rather interesting video. Just wanted to give a shout out and a mention to my sponsors, Whoop, which is the fitness tracker I use. As you can tell, I change the wristbands all the time. Whoop is a tracker that I use for my sleep recovery, also to monitor my training. And what's great about Whoop is it tracks your recovery throughout the week, tracks your sleep throughout the week, gives you overview of your sleep, your performance, how much calories you're burning throughout the day, how much calories you're burning throughout the week, the month. And also, what's awesome about it is it gives you different levels of strain every day to reach. So it gives you target strains for each day depending on your recovery. So it's an awesome app to have. I've had this for about a year before I was sponsored. So yes, I am sponsored now. I do get paid, as I'm always honest with you guys. But if you use my code OBI, you get 15% off. I will put the link in the description box for you to check them out. Let's get back to the video. And superset the rows with tricep bench dips. Again, nice and controlled tempo on the way down, making sure to also avoid locking out your elbows at the top, but squeeze your triceps and pause at the top for a good 1 to 2 seconds before going back down. You can have your feet straight out in front or knees bent at a 90-degree angle, whichever you prefer.
Perfect.
And next up, we have dumbbell bicep curls. Now pay attention, as there are 3 different exercises each set. First, we start with a bicep alternating twist curl. Make sure to keep your elbows as close to your body as possible and with minimal swinging. Now I'd like to note that when it starts to feel heavy, there is nothing wrong with a bit of swing action to get the dumbbell up. Just make sure to control that eccentric phase. Yes, I know the biceps is relaxed at the bottom position, but that's where set 2 and 3 will come into play. And after performing the first sets, we will superset this with a dumbbell overhead extension.
You can do this seated, however I like doing this kneeling to get a bit more core engagement, and also this makes the exercise slightly harder. Make sure to focus on the tempo, and as always, avoid locking out at the top of the movement.
Perfect.
On the second set, again alternating, making sure to not fully extend at the bottom of the movement to keep constant tension on the bicep, and also playing around with tempo on both the eccentric and concentric phase of the exercise. And then of course superset this again with the triceps overhead extensions. The third set will be dumbbell hammer curls. Now again, same principle applies when performing this exercise. However, it's a double hammer curl, and when I start to fatigue, I switch to alternating to get a few more reps and go till failure.
Perfect.
Next exercise, we have the lying chest press, keeping my elbows in slightly to avoid too much tension on my elbows. Performing the press on the floor reduces the chance of overextension at the bottom of the movement, which causes a lot of strain on the delt, and also making sure to keep my shoulder blades back and as close to the ground as possible. I focus a lot on varying the tempo on both the concentric and eccentric phase of the movements. With chest exercises, I always contract my chest as hard as I can at the top of the movement for at least a second every single rep. And superset the press with renegade rows. Now I know renegade rows are predominantly a core exercise, but it's also a great back exercise if done correctly. Making sure to engage your core by taking a deep breath in and also contracting your glutes and hamstrings. When performing the exercise, I like to engage my lats to row the dumbbells up. So the focus isn't just rowing the dumbbells, but making sure to use your lats to bring the dumbbells up each and every rep. And of course, control the eccentric portion all the way down.
And finally, of course, I have a nice and spicy mekon to finish the workouts, which is just 4 rounds for time of 10 dumbbell snatches, 8 cleans, and 6 push-ups. So the snatches, the cleans, and push-ups counts as 1 round. So repeat this 4 times.
So you should do the 10 reps unbroken without having to stop, 8 reps without having to stop, and the 6 push-ups without having to stop. You want to finish this as quick as possible.
An advanced option would be using double dumbbells to perform the snatch and the cleans. You can also change it to 5 or 6 rounds, whichever you prefer.
Or you can actually make this an AMRAP for 10 minutes. Whatever you decide is entirely up to you. That is the fun thing about Metcons. You can make it as difficult as possible. You can make it more challenging if you want to, and you can also scale it down if you find it is too hard to perform. So have some fun with this one and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the workout done. That was an awesome workout actually. That was much harder than I thought it would be. I had to actually change a few things to make it even harder. So you're going to hopefully enjoy this one. Any questions, leave a comment below. Yeah, don't forget to leave a thumbs up because it helps me out massively. Stop laughing at my weird thumbs. I know I have weird thumbs. Yeah, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.